So with that first one, what's the first thing that we need to do? Divide by -1. Get rid of that negative in front of the parentheses. So we divide by -1, that makes it positive 729. Okay, to the 3/2. So we are going to raise both sides to the reciprocal power to the 2/3. So that is the cubed root of 729 squared. The cube root of 729 would be 9. And 9 squared is 81. So then when we add 24, we get 105, which seems like an unusually large answer. So I would definitely check it. As we are used to our answers being smaller, that's not to say that they can't be large numbers, but most of the time our answers are smaller, but it does check out. Okay, so 105 is the answer. Okay, let's do another one. 4m to the 5/3 minus 6 is equal to 966. First step, add the 6. So that's what, 972. Divide by 4. Thank you, 243. Then we raise both sides to the 3/5 power, which tells us to take the 5th root of 243 and then cube it. So the 5th root of 243, let's see here, is that 3? Yeah, that would be 3, because 3 to the 4th is 81, so if we multiply by 3 again, we're going to get 243. So that's 3, and then we're cubing 3, so, well, let me just write it out. 3 cubed, which is 27. Again, I would always check it, plug it back into the calculator, but that one should work out. All right, a little bit longer problem here. 719 is equal to 3 times 2n plus 69 to the 5/3 minus 10. So add 10 to both sides. 729. What next? Divide by 3. So what? 243 again. Very popular number here. Well, guess what? We just raised 243 to the 3/5, did we not? In the previous problem. So bless you. Might as well use that, right? That ended up giving us 27. But on this one, we're not finished because that's not equal to n. It's equal to 2n plus 69. So subtract 69, negative 42. So negative 21 is equal to n. Usually if I get a negative answer, I'm definitely checking a negative answer just to make sure. But it checked out. Okay, the negative was okay here. All right, finally one more where we're going to end up with 2 solutions, and I know that right off the bat, not because I created these examples, because I did them like 4 years ago, and I forget every year which ones I put on there, but because looking at that exponent, I can see when I get to that step, when I raise it to the reciprocal power, the bottom number is going to be even, so I'm taking an even root. I'm going to end up with 2 solutions. So that's a good kind of exercise to put your mind through when you're doing these problems, is before you even start it, ask yourself, is there the potential for 2 solutions here? And you can figure that out by looking at the reciprocal power. Is there an even number on the bottom? All right, but before we can even get there, we've got to get it by itself. So we've got to add 10 to both sides. Well, adding 10 to that, we need to add 10 so that it has a denominator of 8. So that would be adding 80 over 8. Negative 81 plus 80 is negative 1/8. You can, of course, use your calculator, but I encourage you to practice those fractions without your calculator. You can look at that as dividing by negative 2. I prefer to look at it as multiplying by negative 1/2 because I have a fraction on the other side, so that gives me 1 over 16. Again, trying not to rely on my calculator. Okay, so reciprocal power here is the negative 3 over 2. So to get rid of the negative, we flip that fraction over, so that's the square root of 16 cubed. The square root of 16 has two choices. We can have positive 4 and we can have negative 4. So positive 4 is cubed, that's 64. So subtract 1, 63 is equal to 9r. That's not 4, that would be 7. Okay, and then negative 64 is equal to 9r plus 1, so negative 65 is equal to 9r when we subtract 1 from both sides. Okay, notice that in this one and the ones that we've done before, one of the answers is a whole number and one of them is a fraction. Now that's not guaranteeing that that's always going to happen, but it is a possibility. And again, I would definitely check these. I mean, I would check any of them, but definitely check the ones with two solutions just to make sure, okay? It gives us that. Make sure that is negative 81 over 8. Okay, it is. Second enter. Replace the 7 with negative 65 over 9. Okay, both of those check out.